Are you thinking about buying a motorcycle and wondering, is the TW200 enough? Like, is it enough bike? Well, I'm Matt with Mob Street, and I want to tell you why I think the TW200 is more than enough. It's darn well plenty. Now, 4 years ago, I got my first TW200. This is a 2019. I bought it brand new off the showroom floor. And not long after I bought this bike, I made a video on it as to why I bought it, for me personally. And one of the main selling points for me was I'm 5'6" with a 30-inch inseam, and I love motorcycles. I love riding them. I love being around them. I love talking about them. I love just being out in the hills and enjoying them, or out on the road riding them. I love motorcycles. Now, when it comes to dirt, I'm a short person, and I wanted something that was gonna be easy for me to start out on, because up to that point, I had only been riding the road. And I love the TW because it has a 31.1 inch seat height. So I could, get on the bike, I could be flat-footed on it, and that meant that if I was ever up here riding these trails or whatever, got into some rocks that I couldn't really control, I could put my feet down and I could maintain control of the bike. I was a lot less likely to tip over, whereas with some of the more dual sport or even dirt bikes that have a lot taller seat height, this one was much more welcoming to me, much more comfortable for me to get started on it. And since then, I love this bike. This thing has been so much fun, and it has been well worth the investment that I now have 3 of them. I bought a 2021 brand new off the showroom floor, and this year I got a 3rd one from my brother-in-law, and they are great. And let me continue to tell you why. So the other thing that I really love about it is completely unique in the fact that it is one of the most widest tired bikes on the market. I don't care what anybody else says, the looks of this thing are just flat out cool. Now, I've obviously done a few things to mine, which I've made a ton of videos on, but just the overall character of the bike, I absolutely love the look of the bike. And another thing that I like about it is the simplicity. Now, it was brought out in 1987, and not much has changed since then. And that seems to be a real, seems to hit a nerve with a lot of people. Like, oh, why haven't they updated the TW? Why haven't they done this? Why haven't they done that? The simplicity of it all is one of the main appeals to the bike. It's still carbureted, which people gripe about. It's still got a drum brake on the back, which people still gripe about. And there's no fancy electronics on this bike whatsoever. You've still got the analog speedometer up here, okay? I mean, no frills, no gimmicks. This is what it is. And it's unapologetic and completely cool, and I love it. Now, the other reason I like this one is now set up for my wife. My wife is 5'4". She can flat foot this, and she can take it up into the hills. She can ride it. And it's fun just to get on and just go cruise around. I mean, the cool thing, another cool thing about them is they're just welcoming for everybody, but yet you can still go out and have a fun time on them. Some of the most experienced riders, if you look, at some of the other videos, some of the other content on this bike, some of the most experienced riders who go out and are doing crazy things on all these other big, dirt bikes and adventure dual sports and all these other bikes, they get on the TW and they still have a smile on their face, and they say, you know what, this is still one of the funnest bikes ever. There's a lot of content out there. I challenge you to go check it out. before you say, nah, it's not enough. So if some of the most experienced riders can still have fun on the bike, that says a lot for the TW200. Another thing that I love about it is with the low seat height, the simplicity of it all, the low gearing on this thing. Now my kids are starting to ride it too. So they can hop on. My daughter can hop on and she can just take off on the bike. The clutch is super simple. The gearing is so low that it's easy for kids to learn. It's easy for beginner riders to learn how to use a clutch, how to shift the transmission, all that stuff. And it's completely forgiving and just overall welcoming to anybody and everybody. So there's a lot of good to say about the TW. Now, if you want to nitpick things like the carburetor, like the drum brake on the back end, like the old school stuff, why haven't they updated it? Well, this bike's not for you. But if you want a bike that's just simple, reliable, durable, fun, no, it's not the fastest thing, but it's enough to get you up into the hills and enjoy what's around you. It's enough for urban commuting. Now, I've on my 2021, I've done a little bit of touring on it, and folks have said, that's not a touring bike. Guess what? I slapped saddlebags on it. I did a full day tour on it, and I'm planning on doing a whole lot more. So yes, it is a touring bike, because you can go out and you can have fun, and if you choose your route correctly, the TW is plenty. It is absolutely plenty, and it's fun just to go out and see. It's not for the freeway, but that's what's cool, is you can take the back roads, you can take the old dirt roads, you can take the old roads that get you out into the places that the modern world has forgotten. It takes you back to see some of that cool stuff, because the speed limits are probably only going to be 35 to 55 miles an hour, and those are the roads that I love taking on the TW, and just seeing what's out there and just enjoying what it is that there really is out there to see. It's not about getting there as fast as possible. It's not about cruising the trail as fast as possible. In a world that is trying to get us to go faster and faster and faster and faster, this one allows us to slow it down and take it all in and just enjoy what's around you. So, to answer the question that my buddy's dad asked me not that long ago, is the TW enough? For me, yes, it is. It's a bike that I can go and enjoy with my family. It's a bike that I can go get up into the hills. It's a bike that I can just kind of relax on in a way to just get out and enjoy it. So, if you're wondering, is the TW enough? I highly recommend it. I think it's great. And if you get one and you find out later that you want a little bit more, that's great. You can sell them for pretty much what you get them for, because the used prices on these are almost as much as the new prices. So the resale value of this bike is extremely good. So if you have any more questions or any comments, please put those down below. I do my best to get back to those as soon as I can. And I have a bunch more videos on the TW. If you're wondering, is the TW enough? There's videos out there to show you that it is. I'm Matt. This is my 2019 TW200, the bike that started the whole TW craze for me. This is Mob Street, and thanks for watching.